Yeah,
So yeah.
I'm not sure that's gonna last forever. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can only imagine personally, but
Well, they said in their documentation they're committed to this. I mean, anything can happen, but
wait,
right.
I
They
think
also said in there, we're committed to this, and about 10 paragraphs down, they said, but we could change it at any time, and if that, 10 hours later, you're going to get charged something different. But it's like
yeah.
45 days, but it's something like
Yeah.
that. Anyways.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
right.
I think on the plus side, Amazon helped us out a lot to actually get it on there. You know what I mean? They did everything they could to make it really, really simple for us to get on there. And I think, given the fact that it's brand new and the systems that they've obviously implemented relatively quickly, and we were first contacted probably about 4 months ago about this, maybe 5 months ago when we
Oh,
first
now
met.
I feel bad. I only got my invite a couple weeks ago.
Oh, no, I feel bad. I've said too much.
That's cool, actually, because you guys are like way bigger. But I did want to ask you about that since you are going that route. Have you had any problems? Have you already done the conversion? Are you all ready to go?
Yeah, it's on.
In terms of Corona, I think it was. I just stripped out all the Google Play leaderboards and stuff, and then built.
The way I read it was pretty straightforward on the coding conversion.
Well, I wouldn't say conversion. I'd just say build. Press Command Shift B.
You need to have in there.
That's how we like it.
Right. So it was pretty easy, straightforward.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Excellent. I'm glad you guys led the way. All right, thank you very much. Hey, okay, so 2 more questions, and I'll keep them a little bit shorter.
Yep.
Rob, for you, music. Do you have a formal background in music?
No.
So,
I guess I had piano lessons when I was a kid.
Here's Rob's piano.
On the music, how did you learn to do this? I mean, can you summarize? It's just like a long lifetime pursuit.
I've always been interested in music. I started playing piano like as a child, and when I left school, I joined a band. I was a drummer in a band for a long, long time. We were like best of friends, still are actually, and just always making music, like always making music with my friends. And I was always the guy who would record for us at home. So I learned how to use Cubase back then. So that was handy. Now I use Logic, and it's always been a hobby. And when we started Laserdog, it was never really our intention for me to do the music. Like the music for Puck wasn't by me. And when we were making Alone, I was actually kind of panicking. I was thinking like, well, we need to get some music sorted. And I just did that demo I sent to Simon, and I wasn't quite sure it was good enough, but Simon loved it. So I think that gave me the confidence to carry on making it. And now I'm Laserdog's music person, which is like the dream come true, to be honest.
Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, I'm glad for you. That's
Thanks,
for
yeah.
me. When I'm developing, it's like, yeah, I can do the mechanics, but if it's art or music, I'm like, oh, maybe not so much. So my last question for you is, together, how did you guys come up with Laserdog? Where did this come from?
All on you.
And what made you choose? I mean, it's I like it. It's easy to remember. It's got a good visual, logo. A nice logo, scalable logo, the whole thing. So how did you guys come up with it?
So Laserdog was going to be, it was fairly random actually. It was a name that I came up with, talking about making an electronic band. I don't play any music, so that was a terrible idea. And that name just kind of stuck about. It's a bit of a random story. We was on a train, and suitable names and stuff that sounded pretty good and a bit sort of weird and that's where it came about. It's a bit of a dull story, to be honest.
We got attacked by a dog with big red eyes.
Okay, this is a better story. Rob's tells much better story.
Yeah. I'll leave that to Rob.
There were dragons.
Okay, not going over the top. I believed you with the red eyes. That was there for you. Yeah, that was good. Okay, well, you guys, congratulations on that because you really hit it. I mean, when you make like a logo, I know one of the big pains in the butt is like, okay, I need to make this logo so it can be like 10 pixels tall or 100 pixels tall and still look like what it's supposed to be. So
I mean, I actually the business that I ran before was a small studio over in Manchester in the UK, and we did a lot of branding work there, a lot of design work. So I've got sort of probably about 10 years experience of this sort of thing, and it was always for very small brands, which was great because it meant you had real freedom with making, you know, that definitely helped. I think the laser dog, the actual logo, you know, was from back there when we were doing a lot of branding work, and you know, I mean, that's a really important part. I think, you know, it's the first thing that people see. It's the first thing that people sort of connect to is the visual. The sound kind of bowls people over. You know, I think we've done a couple of talks for Alone. The one which is on, I think it was on Haystack, you can actually watch, and it's pretty cringy actually. At least the first 5 minutes are pretty cringy. I'll get Rob will dig that out now. But yeah, we do this talk. We've done this talk a couple of times. The Alone, and obviously this kind of presentation we show various shots, and then when we put the trailer on, and people see it and they hear the music, they're just blown away. You know, I think that's that combination. I think what really works with Alone from a design perspective is the fact that it feels like a tiny little thing, but the music feels enormous and the sound feels enormous, and that real nice crossover between super simple minimalistic graphics and really big believable sound is why it works really well from an aesthetic point of view.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've just posted a link to a talk we did in Leeds about a month ago.
Yeah, it is pretty cringy. I'm particularly nervous. I can't stop laughing, so it's really inappropriate laughing all the way through it. So, anyway, but yeah, it's you might find it interesting.
Oh, well, cool. Well, yeah, we'll post a link to that show notes so everybody can see it.
Laughing. That's the part we're gonna focus on that.
Yeah, we'll definitely be sure to pull that out and make some GIFs and some remixes and stuff.
He threatens me with this kind of stuff all the time, but then he always shows me in the leader the screenshot of these things with my mouth open or like doing something.
Yeah, most of my editing time is finding that one frame.
Oh yeah. You got to do it. You can really see the pain in that moment.
That's right. Well, people will click on those things, right? But they're like, "What's going on there?"
Yeah.
I had another question.
I don't have another question, but I just wanted to say one thing. I was digging through my email and cleaning up. I don't know if you guys do this, but yesterday, and I realized that I never did any testing on your game, even though I got the invite. So, sorry. Go team.
Well, no worries.
That's all. Let me just write that down again. Go team.
Yes, indeed. Go team. Oh, are you guys getting some lag over there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting that a little bit. I'm getting it a little bit over here too. So.
I had another question, if it's okay. I wanted to ask you guys about desktop builds, because I know early on when Corona was pushing that, Alone was sort of a showcase for them. And then I saw that you're also, have announced that HoPiKo will also have desktop builds. I'm really curious about how you're going to handle the input strategy for HoPiKo, because it seems, Alone to me seems to make perfect sense for, you could even keyboard control it, but certainly for a controller. HoPiKo, having played it, because I did beta test, but I never sent feedback, so I don't know if that makes me better or worse than you. But it's really well suited for touch controls. And I could see it maybe working really well with an analog stick, but I'm curious to hear your strategy for that.
Well, it's actually quite interesting. When I first did it for Ouya, which I don't know if you work with Ouya, it's a bit of a pain to iterate testing with it, because you have to. The way I had to do is I had to sit on the floor in my living room with the Ouya next to me, and it's awful. And then as soon as Corona announced the joypad support, I was so happy. I could test it and simulate it. So the way I did it first was you aim with the analog stick and you press a button to jump. And it was pretty nasty. It wasn't very fun. So we left it and we weren't going to do it. And then we thought, the way we've been playing it was with a mouse or with a trackpad on desktop, obviously with a simulator. So we thought, people might want to play it that way, so that's what we were planning. And then we tried a new way, which was, so you aim with the joypad, so you pull the joypad out, and then you kind of let go of it, and that's the jump moment.
Aim and just release, and that leaves it feeling very, very close to the mobile experience.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as accurate, so we had to kind of compensate for that quite a bit.
Well.
And I could see it being a problem depending on the gamepad somebody's using if it doesn't have a springy enough action.
We're going to recommend at least like an Xbox 360, or we need to test with a PS4. But what I had to do is I had to add some compensation, because obviously with a phone you can press and then pull out the whole way of the phone screen and you can get really accurate, but you're limited with the joypad. So I had to add some very, very subtle auto aim in there, which you can't really feel. You don't know it's there. But basically, when you're aiming, it sends out loads of raycasts, and it works out. If you're going to miss, it works out the nearest platform to you, and then kind of makes you aim that way. I don't know if my hand's doing this helps visualize that.